Hey guys, Sean Taylor here, flip2freedom.com. Hope you're doing well. All right, now in this video, I'm going to share with you what I believe is the number one key component to your success. Now, it's not leads. It's not conversion. It's not talking to sellers, getting properties under contract. It's not closing, selling properties on the MLS. It's not, what the Federal Reserve does. The key component I'm going to share with you in this video is probably not what you think, but in my opinion, and I surround myself with a lot of incredibly successful people, billionaires in my network, and I can tell you that they would agree that this is the most important component that can change your life for the better. Now, I'm going to go as fast on this. I'm going to get to the bottom line, to the point, but I want to share this with you because I believe it can make the most impact in your life. So if you're ready, let's get into it.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah. I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah. Hit the ground and it go off. Yeah. Yeah. Run it. Ooh. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my
All right, so the number one key component to your success, and it could be in virtual wholesaling nationwide, it could be in any venture that you do, but the bottom line is that here's the question: if two people have the exact same opportunity, and they have the same background, the same educational level, the same skills, the same financial. They're starting from the same financial point. They have the same knowledge about whatever they're going to, attempt to do. The question becomes, right? Why would someone rise to the top and become successful, and someone either does nothing or fails? There has to be something different, and in this video, I want to share what I believe is that something different and give you a tool that you can do every single day that will allow you to bring this into action in your life, right? Because you got to take what we talk about and then apply it in your life so that you can have success. All right, so the bottom line is what is this key? What is this key to your success? What is the key? Because what happens is we want to achieve things. We want to have goals. We want to have the lifestyle. We want to have the freedom to be able to quit our job and work for ourselves and do the things we want to do. Right. So there's a key component. Now it's and people make success like it's this, this esoteric thing that's up here that you have to achieve, and you have to be a certain type of person to be able to have that success. And that is not the truth. Believe me, I am a prior U.S. Marine. I'm from Vermont, of all places. I grew up, we cow tipped. We tipped cows over. That was our fun. And we, ate, maple sugar, snow, as they call it. You put maple syrup on, on ice, and that's what we did in Vermont. But I didn't go to high school. I didn't go to high school. I didn't go to college. I was a CD student in high school. I wasn't a great athlete. Yes, I played football and I played hockey and stuff, but I wasn't one of those exceptional athletes that would just be like, the high school jock that everybody loved. That wasn't really popular, the super, I hung out with the popular crowd, but I wasn't the most popular person. So I was pretty much average in everything that I did. So, but how do I achieve success or be at the top, 1/10 of 1% of, income earners, in the United States? So, and it all stems down to this principal component that I wish that someone would have shared with me way back when. And so if you're younger and you're watching this and you actually take this to heart, it will change your life, and it will be an accelerator. And here's the thing, and it's almost like this, because if you put a ship in the ocean, and you have a sail on it, right? There's two different types of people. There's people that say, okay, I want to have success, and they have this kind of, this vision of their success, but it's kind of blurred. They have an idea of what they want, but they don't know specifically what they want. But they put the ship in the ocean, and they go, okay, we're going off, right? And then the wind blows them here and there, and it's just wherever the wind blows them, and then they end up wherever they end up, right? And now the other person gets in, and they have a boat, and they have the sail, but they have the oar, and they have a destination. They know exactly where they're going, and they have basically this rudder, right, to direct them and iterate them on the path of their success. And then they have the wind that's thrusting them forward to blow through the waves and all the currents and all the stuff to get to their destination or their goal. There's two different types of people. And a lot of people I meet are people that are essentially go through, especially students and people getting started, they're directionless. They just, kind of wake up in the morning and look at their phone and get themselves ready and brush their teeth, and they get in their car and they listen to the news, and they're off to work, and they take a lunch break, and they get back off, and they get back home, they crack open a beer, and then, they, watch a couple news, and they go to bed, and they do it all over again. Then Friday comes along, and they're like, yeah, it's Friday. Right? They get some stuff around the house, maybe going to, here, go there, whatever. Then they're back at it on Monday. Again, next thing you know, they wake up and they go, holy cow, I'm 50. What the heck did I do with my life? So we don't want that. So how do we change? What can we do? And here's what it is. And I can tell you that I didn't adopt this principle, right? I didn't adopt these principles. I've learned them from surrounding myself from incredibly successful people and having intimate conversations with people about what they do in their mind, right? In their morning ritual. Because we know that success is 80% mental and 20% mechanics. So the mechanics, the how-to stuff, the mechanics is only 20%, and 80% is what I'm going to talk about right here. Now, Napoleon Hill wrote this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest you read this book. It's literally a life-changing, game-altering book. And in this book, he was commissioned by Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate who basically made billions of dollars in the steel industry. And he commissioned Napoleon Hill to write a book and find the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And what Napoleon Hill did is he interviewed hundreds of successful people that were unbelievably wealthy, successful, sports careers, and then interviewed people that were not, and then wrote this book and shared what those differences are between successful people and unsuccessful people. And he talks about one thing, right? And he talks about the name of it is Think and Grow Rich. Now, I remember the first time I saw this book and I'm like, Think and Grow Rich? I'm going to think and grow rich. What the heck does that mean, right? But now is that you actually go through and read the book and see what this is about, you can see that it is amazing on how he correlates success and our thoughts and what our thoughts do. And it's interesting because in the book, he doesn't relate it to, say, quantum physics, but people like Deepak Chopra, who's a spiritual leader, talks about quantum physics and our thoughts and how those connect together for success. But the bottom line is we're going to talk about something that you might think as kind of voodoo or woo-woo or something like that. But I'm going to tell you it's not. It's important now. And it's called the law of attraction, right? And people go, oh yeah, the secret. Yeah, I know what the law of attraction is. I'm going to break it down in kind of how I interpret it, and then how we can use it or engineer it in our lives. So first off, we got to understand what it is first. Law of attraction is an attractive magnetic power of the universe that draws similar energies together. The law states that like attracts like. Even the law of gravity is part of the law of attraction. All physical reality is made up of vibrational energy. Your thoughts, too, are vibrations of energy. This is not a concept or a theory, but rather the startling new reality that quantum physics now reveals to us. Your thoughts have a powerful influence. They affect what happens to you. Now, here's the key component. Negative thoughts or mental images that we project in our mind, just like a movie theater, will attract negative people, negative circumstances, and negative events in our lives. What we repeatedly focus on mentally eventually becomes our physical reality. Now, we're going to talk about positive and negative mental thoughts and feelings and how that attracts to us in our life. Now, here's the interesting thing, is that in the Bible, God gave us control of only one thing, right? One thing. We can't control the weather. We can't control the government, right? We can't control our wives. We try to, right? We can't control our dogs. We try to. We can't control the weather. We got to control our kids to a certain point. So the bottom line is we have zero control. We think we do. Zero control, but except one thing that we can control that impacts everything in our lives. And that is our thoughts. Our thoughts, what we think about constantly attracts the circumstances, events, and people in our lives. So now let's think about it. What are the thoughts? The thoughts create feelings. Feelings create the magnetic attractor that pulls things toward you. So let's think about it here. Have you ever been angry, right? Oh, just pissed about a situation. Or maybe you're constantly just an angry person. What about depressed? What about confused, overwhelmed, frustrated, irritated, paralyzed? Maybe you're irritated, just frustrated. You're overwhelmed with stuff. Empty, fearful, unhappy, pessimistic. You're just, you're skeptical, pessimistic. I don't know. You always look at the negative side. You always look at the fault. You always critical, complain. Do you know that complaining equals less? Right? Gratitude and looking what was positive and grateful for equals more. So if you constantly complain about everything in your life, you're going to get less in your life. You're going to have negative circumstances and events in your life. Not enough, concerned, doubtful, helpless. Maybe you doubt. Oh, I doubt this. I doubt that. Doubt this. Helpless and indecisive. Can't make a decision. What about this? What about that? Can't. So think about this. Worried, anxious, doubtful, worried. I mean, just think about worried and anxious, and then think about our society. Most people are worried and anxious, and they have this anxious feeling inside. So if we live in those states, these are negative magnetic feelings, we are going to attract negative people, negative circumstances, and negative events to your life. Now, it's funny. My daughter is getting married here in October, and we were there. Everyone was over this past weekend, and we were, hanging out in the pool. And we were talking to one of my future son-in-law's dad, and he's single, and he was talking about the dating scene, and he's talking about how he's always attracting the same type of person in his life. The same type of person over and over and over again. And it could be just a vision or a state or this, pessimistic or anxious or not, this concerned or worried type of thing. But he's attracting the same people and same circumstances and events in his life over and over and over again. So if we change our thinking, right, about the person or the event or the situation, we can change our potential outcome. So now we look at positive. What's the opposite side? Love, appreciation, gratitude is the key. Gratitude is incredibly important. Joyous, eager, relaxed, thrilled. You're ecstatic about your life. You're certain that you're not doubtful. You're not, indecisive. You are certain. Dynamic, optimistic, and energetic. So now let me ask you a question. If you believe and you're living in the state of optimism and excited and you're thrilled about your life and ecstatic what's going on and you love, everyone around you, and you appreciate things in your life and you're grateful for everything that happens in your life, guess what? Positive people line up, positive circumstances line up, and positive events line up for you. Everything just unfolds perfectly. And you've met people like that, where everything just goes their way. Everything just unfolds for them easily. And they're always happy and positive and thrilled and ecstatic and excited about their life and what's happening. And then you have other people where it just seems like it rains, it pours. The better it gets, the better it gets. That's right here. The worse it gets, the worse it gets. And the bottom line is that because they're living in that state. So here's the thing, business. You have two people and one person has the same information. Maybe you're on YouTube looking for information. You're going, hey, I want to know how to do this. I want to wholesale houses. I want to virtually wholesale. I want to know all the technique and the how-to. You can learn all that, but you can have all the technique and you can be the exact same someone, all the technique, all the resources, all the same, everything the same. But this is the difference. One person's going to take a round peg and it's like putting it into a square hole. They're going to be frustrated. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to work for them. It's going to be hard. They're going to have to shave off the corners and smush it in real hard. And then the other person's put a round peg in a round hole and they're just going to, boom, it's just going to work. It's going to work for them. So let me ask you, for me, I spend many, many, many years, and still I catch myself to this day. And I have to pivot from the negative thoughts and complaining and looking at things that aren't working and focus on what is working and be grateful and appreciative and love what's working, right? But the bottom line in business, in our lives, the bottom line is what we focus on is what we get. And we have the ability now with this information right here, and take a screenshot of this so you can know that the bottom line is if we're confused and overwhelmed and frustrated and pessimistic and bored, that's what we're going to get in our lives. So what can we do, right? We can basically, and I would do a morning ritual because it's almost like having a garden. Inside a garden, you want to produce fruit, vegetables, right? You want fruit. And if the garden becomes unattended, you're going to have a bunch of weeds. And eventually the weeds are going to overcome the garden and they're going to squelch the fruit and everything. It's going to be a barren bunch of weeds. So that means if we don't attend to our mind and our thoughts, then what happens is we're going to have a bunch of weeds, negative emotions, feelings, and thoughts in our mind. And we're just going to be not really attend to it. And we're going to produce no fruit in our lives. So what we have to do is we have to be attentive to the weed. We have to pull out and rip out all the weeds. And what's going to happen is if you eliminate all the weeds, if you eliminate all the negativity, and you only focus on positivity, then positive circumstances and events and people will line up in your life. Okay? So the bottom line is, how do we do that? How are we become attentive to our thoughts? It's being hyper aware on what we think and how we feel. If you feel bad, right? That's a pretty good sign that you are thinking something that is in line with attracting something negative in your life. If you feel good and you feel joyous and you feel, positive and optimistic and excited about all those things, you're going to feel amazing. You're attracting good things. Now, we can engineer our thoughts, meaning we have the ability to engineer those thoughts. And what does that mean? Meaning engineer means either you're the ship in the ocean, with no direction and the wind's guiding you. Basically, their thoughts are basically whatever the circumstances outside impacts our direction and who we are and what we do. Or you can be internally guided on your thoughts, feelings, and everything. And then guess what? You direct your path in the water. So what does that look like? It means it's a quick 30-minute ritual. We're almost done here. 30-minute daily ritual. Read something inspirational for 5 minutes. I love the Motivate app, and I'll watch a 2 to 3 5-minute video on there. Motivate, and it's all these incredible videos. This morning was about focus. It was amazing. January letter, and essentially this is your vision for your life, right? And I'll get this into another video, but a January letter is essentially your vision for your life. Read this book. It's a great book. Write everything that you're grateful for right now. This is huge. What are you grateful for right now? And then this is everything you want to happen in the next 30 days that you're grateful for as if it's already happened. And then read your gratitude letter with excitement and emotion. So what does that mean? It means that you write everything that you're grateful for right now. Now, I use this journal right here. It's called Day One. It's a Day One app. It's a great journal that I use. And basically I write in that journal every morning. So wake up 30 minutes to an hour early, right? And then spend time engineering gratitude. Think about everything you're grateful for. Think about who you're grateful for. Think about everything you love in your life, right? Think about that. And then you write everything you want to happen, but you infuse it with gratitude as if it's already happened. I am so grateful that this month we had our best month that we've ever had. We've done this and we've done that and we've done this, right? And you're writing that down as if it's already happened. And guess what? I'm telling you, miracles will happen in your life, right? And if you do that, then you read it with emotion. And guess what? You go through your day now directed. You go through your day with purpose. You go through your day, guess what? And the wind and the circumstances of life isn't directing. You're going on a direction and a path. And you're guided, which is amazing. All right, so I hope this helps you. And again, if you like this content, I'd ask you if you could like and subscribe and share this if you would. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to learn more about what we do, we have a 7-week challenge that's coming up here on the 19th of June. Or you can click the link below in the description. It's how to turn $700 into $7,000 in 7 weeks, only working 1 hour a day. So if you want to learn exactly how we do that, how to turn 7,000 virtual wholesaling nationwide, part of the real estate business. I've been doing this now for the past 19 years. I know exactly what it takes to go out and get your first $7,000 deal in 7 weeks. It's a milestone. I want to be part of it. I want to show you exactly how it works. So all you got to do is click the link below in the description. 777 challenge. You don't want to miss it. Coming up on the 19th. Hope to see you again in the future. Take care and God bless.
I can't take no loss, yeah. I don't even know what it costs, yeah. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah. Hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, yeah. Run it, ooh. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year.